Thank you. Once, upon a midnight dreary, well, I lay there, weak and weary, over many curious and quaint volume of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly I heard a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I said, entreating entrance at my chamber door. "This is it, and nothing more." Distinctly I remembered, it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore. Nameless here, forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors I'd never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so faintly you came tapping, and so gently you came rapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you." Ere he opened wide the door. Darkness there. Nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortals ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." As I whispered, an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Only this and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, something louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that must be something at my window lattice. Let me go then see what there is in this mystery explored. Let my heart be still a moment in this mystery explored. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutters, when with many a flirt and flutter, in stepped the stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a moment stopped or stayed he, both mien of lord and lady, perched upon my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. And this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the continents it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven," said I, "art sure no craven, grim, ghastly and ancient raven wandering the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on this night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For I cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured busts just above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. And the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather. Then he fluttered, until I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow, he will leave me as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore," startled by the stillness broken by a reply so aptly spoken. "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whose unmerciful disaster followed fast until his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of melancholy, that hope that burden bore, of nevermore. Yet this raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling. Straight I wheeled cushioned seat in front of bird and busting door. With my head in velvet lining. I took myself to linking fancy onto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore meant is grim, ghastly, ungainly, and gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned deep into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, my head at ease reclining, in the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight glittered o'er. But whose velvet, violet lining that the lamplight glittered o'er, she shall press, evermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfume from an unseen censer swung by seraphine, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thing of evil that God has sent thee, by the angels he has lent thee, respite in the nepenthe of the memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff thy kind nepenthe, and forget the lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, of the tempest sent or tempest tossed thee here ashore. Desolate yet all undaunting, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me truly, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still of bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by the God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden shall clasp the sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp the rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back to thy tempest on the nice Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of the lie thy soul has spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the placid bust of Pallas just upon my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws a shadow on the floor. And my soul from the shadow floated on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Thank you.